East Texas doctors are warning parents about a virus that's making young children sick. It seems to be like the flu, but can be even more dangerous. KETK's My Owens is here to show us how one East Texas mother is alerting other families in tonight's special report. My.
Well, Casey, it's called RSV, and it can literally take your baby's breath away. RSV is a contagious lung infection. Although many people can recover from it in just weeks without seeing a doctor, it can be life-threatening for infants. These cute, innocent, fragile faces can be an easy target for a serious virus, something East Texas mom Rachel Baker knows all too well.
We just thought she had like a little cold, and so over the weekend we had given her a little bit of Tylenol and just wiped her nose as best we could.
Her 7-month-old daughter Charlotte was at daycare when she received frightening news.
They called me at the end of the day and told me that she was running a 103-degree fever, which in any person is a bad thing.
Immediately taking her to urgent care, it became clear.
Normally a swab takes a while, but they said her RSV was so bad that it instantaneously popped up.
And this isn't the first time Baker has seen this virus.
All 3 of my children have had it.
Now she's worried other parents may have no idea what's hiding behind a simple cough.
It's as scary as if you've never heard it, because in an infant, their airways are not developed like ours are. So when you hear that they have RSV, it rings hospital bells, because if it gets so bad, they do get admitted into the hospital.
It's easy to spread. When an infected person coughs or sneezes, those tiny droplets of saliva can land in a child's eyes, nose, or mouth. Many children developing bronchitis and pneumonia.
They have tiny passages in general, so their noses are little tiny, and they breathe through their nose, first of all. So when they get just a little bit of congestion, that makes everything more difficult.
The CDC estimates there are 57,000 children just like Charlotte who are younger than 5 years old and have been hospitalized due to an RSV infection. Masked as a common cold, symptoms of the virus include coughing, sneezing, fever, and wheezing.
Sleeping is more difficult, eating is more difficult because they can't breathe through their nose and they haven't yet learned to breathe through their mouth. And then on top of that, little ones have a lot tinier breathing tubes than we do.
Texas Health and Human Services reports there were over 160 cases of RSV just last month, a figure that can be alarming for parents because the peak season for the infection doesn't start until late December, early January. People infected with RSV are usually contagious for 3 to 8 days, but because infants have a weaker immune system, they can continue to show symptoms for as long as a month.
It's really important to keep the smaller kids safe because they can't fight things off as well as we can.
RSV spreads every year during the fall, winter, and spring. The CDC recommends taking extra care to stay healthy during those months.
Don't kiss the babies, don't love on the babies if you got any kind of runny nose, cough, congestion, anything like that. And as a mom, absolutely feel empowered to say, hey, if you're sick, you have respiratory symptoms, please do not come near the baby.
Often labeled as do not kiss the baby season, doctors are urging parents to be on alert during this upcoming holiday season when families are close together. Now, there is no specific treatment for RSV infections, but researchers are working to develop vaccines and antivirals. Reporting live in studio, My Owens, KETK News.